going on, everybody? It's your boy 3MJ. We are back with another video. Now, I'm trying not to make this video too long because I don't want to stretch this damn conversation. It's going to die out within a few days anyways, but some of you guys asked me on Twitter if I can actually speak on it. Therefore, let's get right to the shit. So pretty much Kanye West a couple of days ago, or should I say yesterday, the day before, whatever, has been kind of like rambling, and he has these periods where he just be saying some crazy shit on Twitter. Now, to certain people, it's crazy. To other people, they're just shocked. And to other people, they're just impressed. To some other people, they're like, oh my fucking goodness. But overall, in my opinion, at first, I overlooked it. And I was just like, you know what? I judged him immediately, which is kind of wrong because I work in the field of mental health. I shouldn't be just out here assuming that he's mentally ill. I mean, he had like a breakdown like last year or something like that, where even he got admitted to the hospital. Something had happened, right? But I think it's an excuse, and I think it's wrong to sit here and say, yo, he's mentally ill just because of the tweets that he put out. For one thing, I think he's bugging out his mind for tweeting these things because he's Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have way better options and tools and ways that you could utilize this to, I guess, put these type of messages out there. You don't have to, or just the resources in hand. Like, you don't have to put these messages out here through tweets, because what's gonna happen is we all take this and we all kind of like twist it in our own minds and come up with our own narrative. For example, I'll use myself. Once again, I read all this shit and say, yo, he's mentally ill, which is unfair. I understand that. Because to certain points that he tried to make, that he's not in the sunken place anymore, he's sick and tired of trying to be something that he's not, and he wants to really express himself. Can certain people agree to that? Yeah, I know some people can agree. Can some people say, nah, that's he's still mentally? I know some people's gonna still judge him. So I'm gonna kind of fall back. What I will say is that I still believe he's bugging out his mind from what he's saying, not in a mentally ill state, but just on some shit like, bro, take this shit off of Twitter. Reason why is because people are going to just assume the worst. And it's not about you not giving a fuck about, you know, about what people think anymore. It's the fact that you built your brand off of one thing. You used to preach certain things. At some point, you even said George Bush don't like black people. Like, you was really about this preaching in some sense. And then all of a sudden, you just come out of nowhere, out of the winds, just with all this other crazy nonsense about loving Trump and how y'all got dragon energy and all this other shit. Now, mind you, I want to say that there was a point in time where I read that Kanye West stated that he doesn't read certain things into the media, he doesn't watch the news, or he doesn't really look in depth into the political shit. So I'm assuming he's really loving Trump, or he just really likes Trump due to like the business aspect of things, and that's just a reach in itself, right? Like, I'm looking at it like maybe he likes Trump because the business, and even if he went bankrupt here or his business went downhill here, he still thrived to try to make other businesses and did what he had to do. And I guess Kanye West likes that because Kanye West has been kind of all fucked up everywhere with this whole business mentality, where he talked about Apple and Nike and all this other shit. So I'm assuming there's like a connection there. I'm definitely wrong, and I may so be wrong, right? But I'm just trying to pinpoint where the fuck this is coming from. Now, he put on the Make America Great hat again, and I don't know why people were bugging out, because just a couple of years ago, he even had a Confederate flag jacket, and we know how certain people looked at this, and this wasn't Photoshop. It was actually connected to his Jesus tour, so he had it with him, and I know certain artists had that as well in the past, and now it's being looked at as something bad, racist, all this other bullshit. But overall, with Kanye West, I'm gonna say this, and trust me, you guys heard me, I've voiced my opinion, which I don't fuck with that shit. I don't fuck with his views at all. At all. I respect Kanye West for just at least speaking clearly of what he believes in and what he's about, right? He's not for discrimination, but there was points where he did voice out how black people in general, and I'm gonna just also add Latinos, just minorities, shouldn't have to be a supportive Democrat party, right? Like, why is it that blacks or Hispanics, we cannot thrive in the Republican area, right? Which is true. Why not build big businesses and money? And that's why I have a lot of friends who actually support the Republican side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I'm not a fucking teacher here to be discussing what the hell Republican and Democrat is, because this was just off guard. I decided to make this video. I am not trying to look up information right now. All I know is from hearsay and other people, just pretty much that Republicans, they more on the stand of like, listen, the government shouldn't intervene in people's lives. They also shouldn't intervene on trying to take money from companies and businesses, and also they shouldn't take money away from trying to support social programs. Whereas in Democrats, there's all these programs that come about, and I think there's a connection somewhere where money gets taken out of our pockets, people who work for a living, you know, who work regular jobs, and that's why we are taking taxes. And the Republican side, they want to lower our taxes. They don't want that much taxes taken from our pockets. I'm not mad at that. But once again, like, I'm not good with all this shit, so please forgive me. But I just don't agree with the other portion of what he was saying, where it involves Trump and just how he loves him and how he may not agree with certain people, but it is what it is, and all this other fake bullshit, because we see the messages, and we've seen over the course of these last year and a half what has happened since Trump has been president. we've seen a huge outburst of just people in their racist regards, and we've seen this whole class of just people just being outspoken with their racism. Now, I give them credit too, because at least they're being out there now saying that they're fucking racist. But it's just so crazy, and not even that. The fact of just his statements overall is very, very scaresome. I'm gonna be honest with you, overall for worldwide, because you're putting these crazy statements out there against Russia and Syria and all these other things, and you're putting, you know, the U.S. in harm. And I mean, maybe I'm not that educated that I don't understand too much of it, and somebody could like inform me below. But at the same time, I just don't feel like it's as safe. You know what I'm saying? Even with Obama, at least he would bullshit you and word it if you guys believe he was bullshit. Because I liked Obama, but if you guys even felt like he was bullshit, at least he knew how to speak in the way he worded things and sugarcoated shit. Trump is very straight up, which, okay, that's fine. But I just don't agree with his practices. And I think that also kind of like encouraged a lot of people to come out, and you see all these crazy nonsense happening in this world, and how I honestly think he's racist. I mean, some people could debate me all they want, and it just brought the racists out of certain people. And you see all these marches today, people getting shot, and just all this other shit, whether it's connected to Trump or not, is so much to just take in. You know what I'm saying? So with Kanye West supporting this, and I just don't support that one bit, I'm just like, you know what? Let him stay in his own bubble, because obviously he don't pay my fucking taxes. But personally, I just feel like he could have done a better job. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say, nah, I ain't gonna talk to Trump, I ain't gonna go to his office. You know what? If Kanye wanted to do this so badly, he could have set up a fucking live meeting with Trump and really spoke to him and expressed this live, or done something more meaningful, something bigger than just bringing it to Twitter. Get what I'm saying? The real issue is not that he agrees with all this shit, in my opinion. It's the fact he brought it to Twitter. Millions of people with millions of different personalities and different viewpoints, they're gonna take this in and they're gonna spit out their own narrative. And that's what's going on here. So that's what I'm saying. Because he's such an important person to so many people, and he's a person of color, it affects a lot of people, and it offended a lot of people, whether people give a fuck or not. But that's just the point I wanted to make. Once again, if I was inaccurate with this whole Republican shit and Democrat shit, hey, you guys are welcome to correct me in the comment section below. I'm not here to be politically correct. I'm just here to speak my views and my thoughts on things, and it is what it is. I don't necessarily support Kanye's views on Trump, but I respect that he had the balls to fucking come out and say some shit like this. But I hope that if there is anything mentally wrong, mentally going on with him, I hope he seeks help, because, you know, I became sensitive to the subject of mental illness because I work in the field, right? So I'm just hoping he gets himself together, because I don't want him getting into some bullshit because of this. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. Drop your comments. That's all I can really speak on. And Kim came out and made a statement. He's not in a sunken place. He's not mentally ill. Stop using that fucking excuse to try to bypass what he's saying, because he's really meaningful from what he's saying. He's being true to himself, and I'm glad that he is the way he is. Not saying that he supports Trump, but she's glad that at least he's being honest with himself, and that kind of frees him to be the person he wants to be a better person that he wants to be. That's all I'm gonna say though. But it's your boy 3MG. Drop your comments below. God bless everybody, and I'm out. Peace.